So yesterday we looked at events that are equally likely to happen, and today we're going to continue developing this idea of equally likely events for chance experiments. So let's go ahead and consider this experiment of randomly selecting a letter from the word number. They have then three questions that say, first, what is the sample space? List the probability of each outcome in the sample space. B, what is the probability of selecting a vowel? And C, what is the probability of selecting the letter Z? So first off, if I'm looking at the sample space, I remember from yesterday that we need to list all the options that we could possibly get by selecting a letter from this word. So what are the options that we have when we are selecting a letter from the word number? Well, I see that the word number has the letter N, the letter U, the letter M, B, E, and R. So I have listed them all out. And we can list all of these letters as the sample space because none of these letters repeat. So if they did, instead of writing them every single time, so example, if R repeated 3 times, I wouldn't write R 3 different times. I would just write it once. But in this case, they are all different letters, so they can all be a part of the sample space. Now, in order to find the probability of each outcome, I can list them as far as the specific letter over the total that we have here. So the total letters here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, are 6 letters. And because each of these letters are different, the probability of picking an N would be 1 out of 6. A U is, again, there's only 1 out of 6 of these letters. There's only 1 out of 6 M's, 1 out of 6 B's, 1 out of 6 E's, and 1 out of 6 R's. So the probability of any letter is going to be the same as any other letter in this word. Now, the second question is saying, what is the probability of selecting a vowel? Well, first of all, if we're going to compare the probability of finding a vowel compared to the total, what is a vowel? Well, I remember that vowels are A, E, I, O, or U. So let's go ahead and list them so we can remember them in our notes. And how many vowels are there? That is 5 vowels. And let's compare that to how many there are total. Well, I'm sorry, take that back. How many vowels are there in the word number? So I see that there's a U here and an E here. So that means there are 2 vowels compared to a total amount of 6 letters. Now this is our probability, 2 out of 6. We can also simplify this by dividing by 2 and we get 1/3. We can also change this to a decimal, but it is kind of an ugly repeating decimal, which would then make it an ugly repeating percent. So I'm going to leave it there as a fraction. That's good enough. And then the final question is saying the probability of selecting the letter Z compared to, again, the total number of letters. So how many Z's do we see in this word number? Well, there are 0 letter Z's out of 6, which means the probability of getting the letter Z is 0, or in other words, it is impossible to happen. Not a chance. So let's stamp. That to find the probability of a chance event, it is important to first write out the sample space of all possible outcomes. Then we can focus on a specific event and write it out as a fraction. We can simplify this fraction, we can convert it to a decimal or a percent, but either way, they will all be equivalent numbers. Therefore, we are good with whichever type of number we choose. Let's go ahead and try some more on our own.